Hello everyone, and welcome to the first video dealing with government and the state. Now, this initial video deals with a couple of simple questions. First off, why do we have government in the first place? Why can't we all just walk around and do whatever we want, and why do we have to have rules? Basically, it comes down to is if we don't have rules, we won't have an ordered society, and our society would be inefficient. We wouldn't be able to get anything done. Secondarily, if we didn't have rules and people to make and enforce those rules, other people would take advantage of other people. So that is, in the end, why we have government. So what is government? As an institution, government makes policies and basically does the things that we need to do. Also, government is made up of people who have the authority to enforce those policies. Now, in order to be able to understand things that are coming after this video, you also need to understand that government has three kinds of power. And it doesn't matter what kind of government you have. It doesn't matter if you have a representative democracy like we have here in the United States, or if it's a monarchy with a king or a dictator or anything else. Every government in the world, as long as we are human beings, have three things in common. And the first thing that government can do is it has the power to legislate law, or in other words, to make law. Now, only government can really make law. We can't make law against each other, and I can't tell Mr. Yuzi what to do out on the street, and he really can't tell me what to do, but government can do that. Okay, so the first thing that governments can do is they can make law, or they can legislate law. The second thing that governments can do is they enforce law. Now, there's all kinds of ways that law is enforced. Now, some of it might be harsher than others, but that's one of the things that is left up to government. Government enforces law. Lastly, that governments can do is they have judicial power, which means that they get to decide whether or not somebody is guilt or innocence, or if one person has wronged another person, or a company has hurt somebody else. So those are the things that government can do. As we move forward through the textbook and other sources that I have posted to the Google Classroom, we're going to explore this a little bit more of what is government. Now, one of the things that I want you to be aware of is that the word government, or sometimes the word state, can be used interchangeably. So as we first go on and we start talking about state, I'm really referring to government. Now, as we move on further into what we do in the United States, you're going to see where government and state will kind of change a little bit. But for the first little bit, let's just assume that if you hear me say the word state, I'm also talking about the word or concept of government. So there's the end of my first video. I hope that I didn't appear too nervous and I was understandable. The next thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at the materials that I have attached underneath this video in the Google Classroom and move forward with it. And I'll have the next posted and ready to go for you tomorrow.